And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're going to take a first look at a game that's coming out this Gen Con, and that is Codenames from the very famous designer Vlaadi Chvátila and the company CGE Games. Now this is obviously an early production copy, also known as prototype. What you're going to see as I show you this is pretty much done. The game itself is finished and I played it and I had a lot of fun playing this party game. So I want you to take a look at this and we'll be back. Game setup is pretty simple. You have 25 cards that are placed out on the table. Each of these cards is from a pile of cards that have different words on them, a single word on each side, so you have lots of different combinations. Two players are going to be the spy masters. These players are going to draw one of these rectangular cards and they are going to place it into a stand. So you'll see that this rectangular card here shows you some red, blue, and then a gray square on it, and then also some tan squares. Now, the one spy master is going to be red, the other is going to be blue. The red spy master is going to be trying to get people to guess all the words that are on red. The blue is going to be trying to get their team to guess the words that are on blue, and nobody wants to get anyone to guess the word that is on the gray. Now, this will be done on your turn. The spy master will look at this card, he will look at some words out there, and he will give a clue. So maybe, for example, my clue, and each clue must be a one-word clue with no expression or facial, no other things, just the word. So maybe my clue would be scissors, and then I would say two. That means there's two words out there that go with scissors. Now, my opponents, my teammates, it may be just one or maybe more than one, they can point to a word. So let's say they point here to hand. I'm like, I'm the red team. Thanks a lot. But I cover this up with a blue spy. We just helped the blue team out. Now, hopefully they wouldn't guess that, but their turn would instantly end. Even if they guessed a word like snowman for whatever reason, and they put a clue on top of that, that's a neutral one, that doesn't help the other team, but it still ends our turn. But let's say they think, scissors. I bet he's thinking of rock, paper, scissors, so they point to rock. I would say yes, and we'd put one of our own clues, our red clues on it. And they can go again, or they can stop. Sometimes they're not sure, but maybe they'll think, people use scissors in school, so that's the other clue. Yes, great. You can even guess farther than that, but you probably shouldn't. So you can just say one word. I could say Japan, one, and you're probably pretty sure that I'm talking about Tokyo. But you always have to be careful, because if your clue relates to the assassin clue, in this case, it's Shakespeare. If that was the clue, if I gave a clue and someone put something on that, I put out the assassin and our team instantly loses. So otherwise, you're going to play until one team has all their reds or blues out based on here, and that team is the winner. You can play multiple rounds, of course, where you basically go back and everyone tries to get a chance to be the spy master, but that's essentially how the game plays. Now, the clues can be as tenuous as you want them to be, and again, you can't give out any sort of information. You can even use a proper noun as long as it is one word. So let's try this here. I mean, maybe you're my partner, so I might say Wallace 4. Now, what would you pick here? You can pause the video and try to pick, because we're not going to sit here. So go ahead, pause the video, or not. So what words might I pick for Wallace? Well, what am I trying to get you to think of? Now, you might think I'm trying to get you to think of William Wallace, and therefore you might pick film, because he was in the movie Braveheart in England. And that'd be great. But I might also be trying to get you to think of the game designer Martin Wallace, who designed the game London, and is also known for his train games. And you say, wow, that's a stretch. But that's really how the game works. You are trying to get the other player to guess these. And again, you can do it one at a time, and that's pretty much a sure way of doing it, although not always, because again, you got to be careful that they don't pick the wrong word, or more deadly, the word that is the assassin. And there's so many different combinations of these, because players can turn them in all four directions. And if people take too long on their turns, you can always bring in the dreaded timer. But it is going to be a more thinky, thoughtful game, and that's how you play. Codenames is one of the most fun party games I've played in a long time. And honestly, as soon as this comes out, if you like any kind of thinky, thoughtful party game, I would check it out. Obviously, the closest connection here is passwords. But to me, this is more fun than passwords. I'm not simply trying to get my opponent to think of a word. Sometimes I'm trying to get them to think of two words. And sometimes I'll sit there and go, okay, my two words I'm trying to get them to think of are paste and school. Oh, that's pretty easy. I might say glue too. Well, paste and glue, that makes sense. But school? Well, that one's harder. I mean, if I'd said horse and paste and glue, maybe that would be easier. But that one's easy. But what if I have to put together missile and server? So you're sitting there and you're looking at all the different words that you have, and you're sitting there and saying, okay, how many words can I tie together that I can give a clue for that also don't include words that go to my opponent, that also definitely don't include the word that's the assassin? The neutral ones aren't so bad, but still, you are sitting here trying to think of some way that makes a connection between words, and at the same time hoping that the person on your team or the people on your team make that same connection. Now, you can play this 2 players, although you're simply just trying to get to a score. It's more like a practice than anything else. You can play 3 players, and you each use, and one person is going to be the agent for both of the secret agents. He's the operative for both secret agents. I'll help you and I'll help you, which is okay, but the game really shines with 4 because it's 2-on-2. You can play with 6 and have 3-on-3, but that 2-on-2, and you each take turns being the agent, and some people are going to be better at giving the clues, and sometimes you'll find these people who seemingly have this connection. But I mean, this game has gone over like gangbusters amongst almost everybody who's tried this one out. And so I'm very much excited and looking forward to seeing the final product, and that is Codenames.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Mach die Tür zu!
Du.